tankers, and welcome back to World of Tanks Blitz. I am Gamer Sean, and today we are going to be looking at the Tier 5 American Medium, the M4 Sherman. So, I'm going to give you a quick, basic overview of the good qualities and the not so good qualities of this tank. So, it's got a pretty good rate of fire. It's got a similar rate of fire to the T-34, not exactly the same. I'm pretty sure it's not exactly the same. Let me just check really quick. So, the M4 has a 7.45 rate of fire, and with the ZIS-4, wrong gun, S54. Yeah, so 5.37. So the M4 has a better rate of fire with than the T-34, as long as the T-34 doesn't have the ZIS-4 gun. And the upgraded gun on the M4 is basically the S54 gun on the T-34, with a few differences. It's a faster gun, it does about the same amount of damage, the same penetration. I think the accuracy is a little different as well. But that's one good thing the M4 has. It's a pretty good rate of fire. It's a very mobile tank, pretty much like the T-34 as well. It can get places it needs to, especially with the speed boost, and going downhill it's pretty fast. You can use gravity to your advantage when playing this tank, which means you can drive it up a hill, take a shot, and then let gravity pull you back down, as well as using your controller to really quickly get back down behind cover before they can find where you are and take a shot. Because it's an American tank, it has 10 degrees of gun depression, which is very useful, especially, as I just mentioned, when you climb a hill and then pop back down, because you can actually pop on the hill and actually use your gun, because you don't have to tip the tank any way to fire it. And I'm actually going to be showing you a clip of that in a little bit, but for now, let's just keep going. The gun mantlet isn't the greatest, but the American tanks have a reputation for very good gun mantlets. And the M4 isn't too much of an exception. It's not the greatest, as I said, but it can still bounce quite a few shots. And it has the second best number of hit points of any Tier 5 medium tank, with one exception, and that is a German medium, exactly the Panzer IV. And it needs these hit points for a reason, and this brings us on to the bad qualities. It has thin armor. You're going to find this has quite a bit of qualities similar to the T-34. We take a look at the armor. It's got 51 at the front, which is nice. But it's 38 at the sides and rear, which is not good, because it's less than the 45 that the T-34 has all around on its sides, front and back. The turret is 63 everywhere, so that's pretty good, and it helps to have that gun mantlet as well. But don't expect to bounce a lot of shots in this thing. It's possible, it's very possible, but don't expect to bounce a lot. Good rate of fire comes with a cost. The gun does not do a lot of damage. It does the exact same damage as the T-34's S54 gun, which is 120 damage, and it actually has about the same penetration, 96. It might have the exact same, but as I said, it's basically the same gun as the T-34's S54. And even though it's got the second best HP of any Tier 5 medium tank, it's not a lot of HP against Tier 6s, so don't go popping this thing out in front of KV-1X's and expect to be very pleased when you go back around that cover, because unless the KV-1S is not paying attention, you're probably going to find that half your health is gone when you pop back around that rock or tree or hill or whatever you took cover behind. It plays kind of like the T-34, which means if you're in a Tier 5 game where you're top tier, or you find a single tank all by itself, you can take the time to aim, but don't aim for too long unless they're really not focusing on you. And you can take a shot and go back into cover. However, if there are lots of tanks, even if they're all Tier 5, or if you're in a Tier 6 game and you're fighting a Tier 6 tanks, a couple of them, what you really want to do is play quick peekaboo, which is basically where you pop out, don't even take aim, just pop out, make sure your gun is pointing at the tank, take a shot, and then back into cover. Because this thing can hit quite a lot of shots even when it's not aimed. It's fairly accurate on this gun. It can even snipe pretty well. And because it plays like the T-34, it's got 3 things it's really good at doing. It can scout. It's basically a light tank, so that's one thing it's pretty good at, especially because it's very mobile. And it can flank pretty well, because if the tanks aren't paying attention very well, you can do quite a bit of damage because your gun doesn't have a very long reload. It's also a great support tank. You could be kind of with the back of your team, supporting them by driving to certain places and pumping shots into certain enemies, especially prioritizing. You definitely want to prioritize with the tanks. Just because you see a tank doesn't mean you want to shoot at it. If it's not like they're heavies on the team, you definitely want to go for the top heavies on this team if you can, but be very careful about that. Because once you've got the big boys out, then it's basically just the lights and the mediums, and those aren't too tough to deal with if you've got all your team alive and all of their big guys dead. So you really want to prioritize with this tank. You can flank, but it's great to have support, and it's really great if you're far away where they can't see you. So I'm going to kind of show you some clips of how this tank plays, and I think one gameplay video, a full game, to show you how this tank can do when it's up against some tier 6s and just a bunch of other tanks, and how well it does on a flank. So here we go up the hill, and at first I just try to do it with my gun depression, but I don't go down the hill fast enough, and so what you want to do is what I do next. See that little hill over there? I drive up the side, and watch this. The hill helps me go down much faster because the gravity comes into play, and that way they have less a chance to get a shot at me. So just remember, use the terrain to your advantage, and it will really help you with your gun depression. So I'm actually going to be showing you 2 gameplay videos. This one isn't a full one. It's more of a clip, but it has more gameplay in it. And this is still on the topic of gun depression, but it also involves spotting. You want to know those places on the map where you can go and easily spot the enemy team, then have cover to pull back in so they can't shoot you as soon as they see you. And this right here is a pretty good spot, because I can use my gun depression to stick over the hill and wait on this corner. And when I'm spotted, I shoot whoever's there and then back right up. You see that Wolverine? We're going to have some fun with him, because he's an American tank destroyer, so he has gun depression too, but he's busy with other things, and he does try to get us a few times, but things got complicated for him, and we're just going to keep popping out, taking a shot at him, giving it a little time to aim, and it's not very hard to kill this guy. He tries to get me, and see, Turret's doing a pretty good job there, bounced his shot, and now he's a one-shot kill, and he is out of there. So that's just a quick clip with how great this gun depression can be, and also how you should use your spotting to your advantage. So unfortunately this video doesn't have any audio to it, I'm sorry about that, but I was recording in kind of a loud spot, and I don't think you'd really want to hear the noise that was in the background. But anyway, so this video is also going to show you some more about spotting, but mainly how you can deal with tanks on a flank. So we're just going to go to a spot up here. It's a pretty good spot. It's got cover right up there so you can see the enemy team and also pop out and take shots, but it's also got a bush on the left so you can see if anyone's near the cap circle. You can see I popped up and popped down, spotted a Stug. And I do this a few times, and first I don't really spot anyone except that Stug, and he quickly disappears, but you gotta keep popping up and down, and make sure you pop down as soon as you popped up, because you don't want to be seen. And if you are seen, because you already popped down, then they can't shoot at you. So that is their only heavy on the team. He's going to be a primary target. But because there are other enemy tanks, I also have to shoot at some other things. So we're just going to because, as I mentioned before, there are a lot of tanks here, so we're gonna try to use more of the quick peek-a-boom strategy. So we're not really gonna let it aim because we just want to hit them, or at least attempt to. We also want to keep them spotted for our team. So this guy gives me a few problems at first, but as you can see, German tanks can't angle their armor very well. You have to be very good at this, and so I've got lots of fresh armor to shoot at, which can't really resist my bullets. I'm risking something here and can really take a lot of fire, but I do bounce shots. We just drive up to him, and there's almost absolutely nothing he can do about it. We're so close. We do take a hit, but it's all worth it because now their heavy is out. There's no heavy for them. We have 3 heavies to spare, only 1 down, and they have none. So it's just mediums, tank destroyers, and a light tank. So I'm in trouble here, so I want to get behind this rock so that I'm not exposed. And I do manage to pop a shot at that guy because I let it aim. But now I'm spotted, and I don't want that guy in the cap to shoot at me, so I have to move forward. This Anico is a bit of a picky situation here. You have to be very careful because he has 2 places he can shoot at and 2 places he'll take fire from: me, and the guy is kind of a ways back there near spawn. So I'm just gonna set up shots, and he does try to take me down as well, and he could very well do it. He's got a very powerful gun. So we're just gonna see if we can get shots at his team, and we can. I'm surprised that shot on the Cheeto hit at all, because that was not very well aimed at all, but you'd be surprised at what you can do. You're just popping back into cover here. We both miss our shots, but I get the Cheeto. And now it's just the Anico right over here. A few at base, I believe. So we're just gonna set up a shot here at first. Just wait, let it aim, kind of make sure that if he pops back here very far, we can get him. But he's being very careful. And not careful enough, though. He's a 1-shot, and now he's no longer a problem. So it's just a light tank over there. That's Stug, just sitting on full health. And just destroyed their last medium tank. So it's just this TD and this light. His light's on pretty low health, and he's going to be on, yep, there he goes, even lower health. But I don't want him to get away, so I'm going down here. And that was skill. Just kidding. That was luck. That shot was not very well aimed at all. And we win that match pretty epically. So, you will have lots of fun with your M4 Sherman if you learn 2 things about it. First of all, play it cautiously. Don't be too aggressive, especially because you might end up biting off more than you could chew. And also, play it similar to a T-34. Use it to scout a little, do a lot of flanking, and especially supporting your heavies if they're in a bad situation. Because you have a fast rate of fire, your gun can make all the difference between winning and losing a game. I can't tell you how many times I've helped us win a game either by spotting or just helping our guys out who are in a dire situation and could really use an extra gun. Use its strengths to the advantage. Its good rate of fire, its mobility, and its good 10 degrees of gun depression. Anyway, guys, enjoy playing World of Tanks, and I will see you next time. Peace out, and goodbye.